Welcome to Whips in the Dungeon 101.7. Today we're going to talk about dog signal whips, which is a type of singletail. The important characteristic of a dog signal whip is the unique way the cracker's finished. The cracker's actually plaited or braided into the end of the thong. With Whips in the Dungeon 101, we've started with Chapter 1, which is classes of whips, but we've incorporated elements of Chapter 7 and Chapter 8, static and dynamic throwing, into each of the classes of whips that we've looked at. The two static throws that we've been working on are the bow and arrow and over the shoulder. You're going to quickly move from those static throws into doing dynamic throwing because it's more fun and the whip's constantly in motion. The horizontal throw is a dynamic throw, and the other dynamic throw is the forward figure eight that we've spent so much time throwing our flogger in this forward figure eight. So those are the throws, the four throws we've been doing. They all apply to a dog signal whip, but one of the important things that's going to happen when you move into dog signal whips, or as in the scene we call these singletails, is that a singletail over time, as you throw it, is going to develop a muscle memory. So my recommendation is, as you practice static and dynamic throws, settle on a dynamic throw that's the best for you, that you're the most comfortable with. Let's say you end up preferring the horizontal throw over the forward figure eight. If you enjoy the horizontal throw the most and you're the most accurate that way, then with your singletail, I would recommend only throwing the horizontal throw with that whip because it's going to develop a muscle memory. If you enjoy the forward figure eight, then only throw that singletail using the forward figure eight because it's going to develop a muscle memory. Singletails or dog signal whips typically are short whips, 3 foot, 4 foot, and on a rare occasion you might see a 5 foot dog signal whip. Mostly you're going to see 3 and 4 foot dog signal whips in the dungeon. And you're going to find that whip platters over time will be sensitive to which style you throw. If you throw a horizontal style, you're going to want a dog signal whip that's plaited extremely tightly with an extremely tight core. And I'm going to use a Mike Murphy signal whip as an example of a whip that's perfect for horizontal because it's plaited so tightly, it allows you to throw it horizontally and slow the whip down and keep that horizontal plane without the whip stalling and falling. Whereas if we look at, have to get the right whip here. If we look at a Peter Jack signal whip, Peter plaits his whips to have a better natural rollout. If I try to throw this whip horizontally, you're going to see it stall and start to fall. And if it stalls and starts to fall, it's not going to be accurate on target. But if I throw this same whip in an overhand forward figure eight, the natural rollout makes this whip extremely accurate. So dog signal whips are going to develop a memory and you're going to develop a preference in throwing style. So this is where our path meets a fork in the road, and you're going to have to, with practice, decide which fork you're going to go down. If you decide you like horizontal and forward figure eight, I'm going to recommend you have a whip that you throw horizontally and a different whip that you throw in a forward figure eight. That concludes Whips in the Dungeon 101.7, and our key word today is either singular or plural, tail or tails.